Good morning everyone, I'm Joshua Benedict from Group T, and the group is here to explain about the different language features of an argumentative text. First of all, what is a language feature? In linguistics, a feature is any characteristics used to classify a phoneme or word. These are often binary or unary conditions which act as constraints in various forms of linguistic analysis. This helps you to understand what the writer is saying. The writer usually uses different language techniques to convey his message. There are several language features that we're going to talk about, and these are modal verbs, emotive words, evaluative language, conjunctions, declarative statements, rhetorical questions, and passive voice. To further explain the different kinds of language features, here are my other groupmates starting with Achilles Ken, modal verbs.
Let's talk about modal verbs. So, first of all, a modal verb is a type of verb that is used to indicate modality, that is likelihood, ability, permission, and many more. So, basically, in argumentative essay, it is used to make a statement or writer's claim more powerful and understandable. And also, modal verbs in argumentative essay is used to make the writer's claim more or less tentative, or to suggest that the writer thinks something is more or less probable. So I have here some set of examples prepared. The first one is, you must turn in your assignment on time. So the modal verb used in this sentence is the word must. And the second example is, he might be the love of my life. So the modal verb used in this sentence is the word might. So that's all about modal verbs.
Next language feature to use is emotive words. So let us define it. Emotive words are used when certain word choices are made to evoke an emotional response. Emotive words often aim to persuade the reader or listener to share the writer or speaker's point of view, using language to stimulate an emotional reaction. Example words are agony. So this means intense pain of mind and body. Blessed, harsh, magnificent, and vulnerable. So, meaning to say, the concept of emotive words is a technical term used to refer to the use of specific terms that have specific argumentative effects. In particular, they can affect the interlocutor's emotions and lead him or her to accept or view a certain viewpoint or policy more favorably. Clearly, such words can be manipulated and become fallaciously used. In short, emotive words are words that evoke a strong emotional reaction in the majority of readers or listeners. They hold a certain weight that is hard to ignore. So more examples of emotive words are like the adjectives appalling, wonderful, heavenly, magical, and tragic.
An evaluative language is a positive or negative language that judges the worth of something. It includes language to express feelings and opinions, to make judgments about aspects of people such as their behavior, and to assess quality of objects such as literary works. Some examples of common evaluative terms are good, bad, excellent, and awful. Evaluative terms can express moral, approval, or disapproval, but can also express other types of non-moral approval or disapproval. The importance of evaluative language in an argumentative essay is that it can be used in identifying the linguistic resources used to evaluate situations, things, people, and it aims to uncover how people position themselves in relation to certain discourages or communities. It can convey emotion or it can affect or express evaluations of either people or judgment or ideas that things that is basically an appreciation.
Conjunction is a part of speech that connects two words, sentences, phrases, or clauses. There are three types of conjunction. The first one is coordinating conjunctions that joining or combining words, phrases, clauses, and sentences that have the same rounds. It also links the ideas by showing how they relate. Example, the dog and cat cannot be kept in the same cage. The coordinating conjunction that we use in the sentence is the word and. The second one is subordinating conjunction. This type of conjunction gathers one dependent clause and one independent clause into one sentence. The examples under this type includes after, until, while, because, since, before, whereas, and although. Example, Jim got tired because of the dance. The subordinating conjunction that we use in the sentence is the word because. The dependent clause is of the dance, and the independent clause is Jim got tired. The last one is correlative conjunctions. This type of conjunctions are working as a pair. Some examples under it includes either, or, not only, but, and neither nor. Example, not only the plates but also the glasses were broken. The correlative conjunctions that we use in the sentence is the word not only.
Declarative statements in argumentative essays. A declarative sentence or statement is the most common type of sentence in the English language. It is a sentence that makes a statement, provides a fact, offers an explanation, or conveys information. There are two types of declarative sentences: the simple declarative and the compound declarative. A simple declarative has a simple sentence structure. It consists of a subject and a predicate. An example of this is, my cat is sick, or another example is, pizza is the best. Compound declarative joins two related phrases with a comma and a conjunction, such as and, yet, or but. These phrases can also be united by a semicolon, which is sometimes accompanied by a transition word like besides, however, or therefore. An example of this is, Jasmine likes to play outside, yet she hates the heat. And another example is, her mind is blank, she couldn't think of anything.
So now let's talk about rhetorical questions. So first, let me define what a rhetorical question is. A rhetorical question is a question someone asks without expecting an answer. The question may not have an answer, or it might have an obvious answer. So for these reasons, why would you ask a question and not expect an answer? One of the reasons of having rhetorical question in your argumentative essay is to question the own reader's belief. By having a question that might be obviously answerable and a question that will be unable to be answered by the reader, the writer can create a confusion into the reader's mind. Having this confusion planted into the reader's thought might lead into self-examination. Other reasons of having rhetorical questions is to create an opening for the writer to input his or her own opinion about a certain matter. For example, rhetorical question might be used as, what is the meaning of life? As for me, etc., etc. Rhetorical questions serve as a bridge between the reader and the writer, as having these kind of questions make them both contemplate their own ideas and beliefs.
Now, passive voice produces a sentence in which the subject receives an action. And in the contrary, active voice produces a sentence in which the subject performs an action. Now, to change a sentence from passive to active voice, you first determine who or what performs the action and use that person or thing as the subject of the sentence. Now, why is it important that we use passive voice in academic writing, especially in argumentative essays? Now, often in academic writing, we don't want to focus on who is doing an action, but on who is receiving or experiencing the action. The passive voice is thus extremely useful in academic writing because it allows the writers to highlight the most important participants or events within sentences by placing them at the beginning of the sentence. Now, for example, scientists classify glass as a solid. That sentence is an active voice. Now, glass is classified as a solid is the passive voice of that sentence. Now you notice that the passive sentence focuses on how glasses are classified rather than on who classifies the glass.
And that's all of the infos about the different language features of an argumentative essays that the writers use to convey their message to us readers in a much easier way. That's all for today, and thank you very much for listening.